All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the No Guts, No Galaxy podcast 143. We are your hosts, Phil and Daeron. Today is August 17th, 2016. And sorry for the technical difficulties, but that is life sometimes, and you just have to adapt and overcome. So, no, I just want to say, what is going on, guys?
Yep, good to have you guys here. Just real quick, let me introduce you. And first of all, hello, Phil. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Exciting to be back into this. We got the Olympics going on in real life. Been totally watching the Olympics and BattleTech Mech Warrior. Things are happening everywhere. It's been a very exciting time. But yes, you can see our special guests here. These the three. Let's see. We didn't name them yet, so I won't say what I named them. But BattleTech.
Use our names.
That's Larry.
Yes.
I'm Mo. I believe you're Curly.
He's got that little curl in the middle. Anyway, joining us tonight, special guests, we have Jordan Wiseman, Mike McCain, and Mitch Gittleman from Harebrained Schemes. Welcome, fellas. They are, of course, the developers of the upcoming turn-based tactical BattleTech game, the recently released Necropolis, a single-player and co-op dungeon adventure available now on Steam, and, of course, many of you know the ever-popular Shadowrun series, a turn-based RPG, including the most recent title, Shadowrun Hong Kong, and which I just noticed today, you have the Shadowrun Complete Collection, which includes all of the Shadowrun titles, and it just happens to be right now 20% off on Steam.
Stop.
So,
Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Plug. We meant plug. Thank
Yeah.
you for that wonderful plug.
no,
Hey,
I was...
real fast about that complete collection. Very
Yes.
important thing. If you have one of the Shadowrun games and you buy that, it'll only install the two that you don't have, etc. It knows what's going on.
And we'll only charge you, I think.
Yeah,
The ones
that's
that
the
you
important
don't,
thing.
have.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good value, no doubt about it. If you go and read the reviews, everybody loves that game. So check it out, the Shadowrun Complete Collection. And of course, eventually, I think, what is the to be determined date right now? May 2017, something like that. You'll be able to buy BattleTech on Steam as well.
Mid 2017.
But wait
Yeah.
a minute. Important note, you can back us right now.
No, I know that we will get to that. Believe me, plenty of info. If you still want to be a
Just saying.
backer, if you want to pre-order, there's all kinds of cool stuff, and we will get to that shortly. But anyway, Jordan, Mike, Mitch, welcome.
Good
Thank
to be
you.
back.
Hey.
Yeah, it's great talking to you again.
It's very good to have you guys back.
Galaxy.
Yeah, we've got about 100 people out there ready to hear about BattleTech, the game. But first, before we get into that, we know that you just got back from an event, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Are you still unpacking, or?
In fact, literally just about an hour ago, the truck showed up and it was all unpacked. Yeah.
Yeah, so you went to Gen Con. Were you there there for more than just BattleTech, obviously. I saw a lot of tweets and pictures and games and everything that you were doing. But tell us about your Gen Con experience. How'd that go?
Your oldest.
Yeah. It was overwhelming. We wanted to bring BattleTech there for a sneak peek because the tabletop audience is people that brought BattleTech to life initially, and we also knew it was going to be some of our most critical fans, and so we wanted to have them get their hands on it first. And the reaction, we could not have hoped for a better one. They were incredibly enthusiastic on all aspects of the game, which is fantastic because you never know,
And shocking.
Yeah, and so that was great, in the booth and the reaction we were getting online simultaneously with the video we had released on. So it was a great love fest. It was really what it was. It was fantastic.
We will get to the video momentarily, but Jordan, when was the last time you were at Gen Con representing BattleTech? Were you ever?
1 year ago.
Yeah, because we were there last year,
Pushing the Kickstarter.
during actually pre-Kickstarter last year,
Right.
talking to fans.
Before
I've
that,
been going to
then.
Gen Con now. This is a scary number. 43 years.
That makes you 45.
Well, I went to my first one when I was 13. Lake Geneva. It was before the release of D&D.
That is crazy and cool.
Yeah, so that was totally geeky. So I haven't gotten there every single year, but I'd say all but a handful.
Jordan and I actually met at Gen Con.
Oh, really? You got? Wow. How old were you guys?
How old were we?
Yeah.
Jordan doesn't remember this story, but I was 15 and he was 20.
That is cool.
That was a bigger delta in those days
That was a
than it
much
is
bigger
now.
delta. You may have been 21. You may have been old enough to drink.
Wow.
I was just dreaming.
So that goes way back.
You came for a demo at the booth, right? Of a game.
Well, actually, it was the Last Starfighter game. Remember
okay.
that one? And
So I had Last Starfighter. I must have been 20. Yeah, because that game, not like 82 or 83.
Oh, that would have made me much older.
Maybe it was 80.
Check your facts,
81.
man. Go to Wikipedia. Look at yourself.
Oh God, don't do that. That's.
I don't
Well, it
remember events from like 2 years ago. I don't know.
You're new to the group, Mike, but
I was born in '84. If that, you know.
yeah, Phil wasn't even born, and I was.
Man, you missed those. Those were great years. You missed them all. Anyway.
Yeah, it was great without the internet, or digital content of any kind, or phones.
Anyway, but to answer your question, when was the last time I was there representing BattleTech? It was probably the last time I was there representing BattleTech was actually Mech Commander. Because
So Mitch, you were there too.
we brought Mech.
Yeah.
We brought Mech Commander to
96,
to Gen Con.
and it came out in 97. Yeah, so Gen Con 96.
So 20 years later.
Yeah, hey, thanks
That's
for that.
still a lot of love for Mech Commander.
Hey man, I think it's a cool thing. So now, did you see people there that recognized you, that knew you guys were the Mech Warrior and the Mech Commander Kings?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think one of the differences for all those years of being a BattleTech, for being a game designer, no one ever knew what the hell you looked like.
Nobody knows what game developers look like.
Yeah, so it was only the advent of the crowdfunding and the videos associated with those that all of a sudden put a face to designers. Right. And so now we actually do get recognized at the shows, and people did come up and do a lot of Mech Commander love.
Oh, do you actually have that?
Boom. We just unpacked.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody brought this.
Yeah. See, I saw you tweet that picture. I was hoping you'd bring that up.
Isn't that cool?
That is so awesome.
Absolutely pristine. It is brand new. Dude, it's got the new car smell to it. All right.
Is that what that smell is? But yeah, that's Phil. I think Phil. That's even. Would you say that's your favorite game right there?
Yeah, I mean, I still
He's
play
the Mech
it.
Commander.
If it was up to me, we'd have multiple Mech Commanders. No, I mean, it's one of those things where Mech Commander to me was the first time it brought the BattleTech sort of experience into it. Where you've got, obviously little infantry dudes wasn't really present, but you had vehicles, you had arty airstrikes. It brought in. And then especially the original Mech Commander, that intro sequence of seeing the dropships come in and the fact of here you have a forward scouting, if you will, for the just all of it. And then just I don't know about you guys, but the video sequences with the lieutenant and all those, I think I still like when I still play all the time and I stream it and just they're still so damn good. And how old is the game?
Officer was on All My Children. My wife pointed her out. Like, oh, wow, she's on All My Kids.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I appreciate that. It was Mitch and I's first title that we did in depth together. We'd prototyped a couple others, but that was the first one we actually shipped that we did together. And great to be coming back to that subject matter in more depth with the turn-based version that we're working on now, and yet still being able to capture some of the fluidity that we did in the real time.
I'd say, yeah. Also, it feels kind of like Mech Commander to me when the Mech Warriors are doing their battlefield chatter and stuff. Yeah. I had flashbacks.
Well, okay, so everybody comes by the booth and like, oh, that's like Mech Commander, and either they don't realize that this is a turn-based game, or they forget that Mech Commander was turn-based or was real time.
Yeah.
But I think the initial impression is clearly that same sweet spot of tactical battlefield command.
So I'm going to let you guys know. I mean, this sort of goes off on a tangent here, but Daeron, we were just sort of mentioning this. We actually did not have a podcast until now to talk about the alpha footage because we didn't want to ruin sort of like our first like impressions. And as soon as I saw it, first off, I was like, wow, this is actually really close to Mech Commander. Like, as far as the aesthetics, the looks, and everything. And that was the initial impression. I was like, wow, they've taken Mech Commander and they've taken the tabletop, and it's just meshing right together.
I think
And
it's going to leap ahead of Mech Commander in two important ways for me personally. The first way is the level of simulation that'll be in our BattleTech game is far greater than was in Mech Commander.
Even on the top surface, like Heat, right?
Yeah,
Which something
exactly.
that was not in Mech Commander because you weren't explicitly in control of it, and that would have been just enormously frustrating.
Well, it
player.
was. Well,
Yeah.
when we
we
had
first
it,
built
turned
it.
it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't work at all.
But that's really just the tip of the iceberg of depth of simulation.
Yeah.
Everything from being able to explicitly turn on and off weapons and hit locations and stability, things like that.
So that's one thing. The other thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Melee.
And
Melee.
Yeah.
And DFA. Although we had DFA, sucked.
Yeah.
But you could do it. But in real time, think about that. You had to have a touch with that. But the other thing that I think that will be bounds above the Mech Commanders. This game historically, and lore-wise, will be did an okay job with Mech Commander 1. And Mech Commander 2, we sort of took a baby step. Mech Commander Gold, we took a baby step. Mech Commander 2, we had a lot more context, and you saw more of the noble houses and stuff like that. But the level of detail in the story and in just the BattleTech background and lore that's going to be in.
I also think that Mike already set a very high bar for what the upgrade in visual fidelity is. I mean,
maybe that.
It's just incredible.
It looks awesome.
The look of it and the 3D, being able to really zoom in, see things in great detail,
the
pull
camera
back
stuff
through.
is
Yeah,
cool.
it's really.
The art team's been killing it. I'm really excited to see what we can do over there.
and you speak about the 3D environment. I feel like one of the things I recognized. Sorry, we're having some stuttering.
Well,
I don't know what's going on.
Here, you deal with that. We're obviously we've moved into discussing the super pre alpha video and build that you guys have currently, which is already at over 125,000 views and going up quickly. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement and anticipation over this. I did link the video in chat. Mitch, you brought up actually you just brought it up now, but you also mentioned it in the video. The feeling of, let's see, like a flashback, basically. And I was wondering if you meant, and I think you meant Mech Commander, right? Not DFA or something like that.
Yeah, no, specifically to a flashback to Mech Commander. It's just the feeling that I'm still in a BattleTech simulation. Really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was having the same feeling. It's
The return to the setting.
It's a crazy time. Like, I love telling the story of when I walked into that gaming shop in '84 and saw Battle Droids on the shelf and that Warhammer, and 32 years later, it's been a part of my life. And I'm getting the same feelings now watching the development of BattleTech, and you guys talk about it, that I had, when MWO was announced, and even going all the way back to, all the titles, the Mech Warrior and Mech Commander titles. It is such a great time to be a BattleTech and Mech Warrior fan, and seeing the three of you in that video. It's just classic. Mike looks like he's trying to live up to the veterans there, and no, he's going to. He's going to be a legend. He's a legend in his own time already. But
he's already a better game developer than I've ever was.
No, I agree. Everything that I've seen Mike do is just phenomenal, and I'm blown away by the development of the game. But and then Mitch is just sitting there wanting to blow everything up, and then Jordan, seeing you in the middle of that group, and just being super excited about, I feel like about your baby. This is you're back to the BattleTech universe, and I can just see it and hear it in your voice that you just have a passion for it still, and that was surreal to me. Like that, it's been 32 years, and here we are again, in some ways coming full circle. And it was an exciting moment for me. I got goosebumps watching that video and the three of you guys. So I just wanted to say, I mean, it's exciting. It's very exciting.
Well, it was a really fun night because we were,
Yeah, I got goosebumps playing because I thought I was going to die for half of it.
you know, we were tired after setting up the booth, and we just got the new build in from the team, and so we really wanted to play it and share it with all the backers first. And then when the Atlas went down with the head, just totally unscripted. I mean, because you know we're actually playing the real game. It wasn't a
very
script.
energized,
and it was like, oh my God, what a classic BattleTech moment to have been captured as the first video. It was you know, copacetic. You know?
I think part of it also is, you know, you're talking about that returning and bringing that energy back. It's really get excited about making a new BattleTech game or making a new Shadowrun game when you're working with a group, right, of really talented people. They are into it, you know, and they weren't alive when we made the Commander, right?
I was alive.
That's one, right? But that it's really cool. It's easy to get your energy up to see their energy and all of the passion they bring to it. It's really badass.
Well, actually, I mean, what's true? I mean, it's very true. There's some members of our team that weren't alive when we did Mech Commander. But you've also got you know, people like Art Apple and Eck and you know
that grew up on it.
That like Daeron here, you know, discovered it in the '80s and grew up on these titles.
And that just
and it
in the
became
80s,
an
in the
important thing
sweet
for them.
spot. You know what I mean? The sweet spot for you. How old were you, Daeron, in '84?
12.
Yeah. No, we were just talking about this on Twitter yesterday. 12 is this just perfect age. You know, it's this age where magic still exists. And, you know, I saw Star Wars at 12. It was just the age. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to watch this movie. I want to be in.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you were to play Mech Commander at 12, I can see how that would be pretty cool.
I still believe I am, you know, a mech warrior mercenary. I am inside. Don't tell me I'm not.
I'm on the outside. I got an eye patch.
Well, we can't all be the Lord Commander, but yeah, no, I hear you. No, I loved it because when you guys were doing that, and Phil, I'll let you get a word in here. But when we were watching that video, and there was that Atlas headshot, and then Mike made the comment, "Where's my lucky headshot?" It really does feel like that game is going to be a culmination of so many things. It's going to be little aspects of Mech Commander, tabletop. It just feels like BattleTech, and this is aesthetically too. The artwork is, I mean, I'm speechless as far as the artwork goes. It's just beautiful, and I know.
And so that's all the secrets of the game.
Yeah, been great talking.
All right, take it easy, guys. No, sorry about the technical hiccup there, but we are back and going. But anyway, I just felt like this game is just a total culmination of so many things, and it feels so. It smells, it looks, it breathes BattleTech, and it just in every way, from the characters, the mech warriors, and yeah, I'm just, if you can't tell, I am extremely excited. 2017 is not going to come fast enough.
Wait, slow down there.
Oh no, I could use a few more.
The development weeks? Yeah, that sounds great.
No, I mean, we really appreciate hearing that. And you know, I think the truth is it's really exciting for so many of us in the development team too that have been longtime fans or been sort of itching for the opportunity to work on this kind of. Hope that excitement shows through and echoes your excitement and the fans' excitement.
Well, and I think one of the things that we were holding our breath about, and your reaction was, you know, similar to what we've seen online and what we saw at the show, is that, you know, for us, as we went through our very extensive pre-production plan and a lot of prototyping, you know, we arrived at some changes that needed to be made to tabletop BattleTech to make it into a game that we thought was going to be successful in capturing the spirit of BattleTech in the computer game, and changes like you know, the initiative system, and that really emphasizes the use of light and medium mechs and those kinds of things. The way we're doing you know, fog of war and sensor information. And what was great to see is, you know, even the most hardcore BattleTech fans were like, you know what, it still feels like BattleTech. Yes, those are changes, but I get those changes. They make sense to me. The end of the day is it still feels like BattleTech. And that was the greatest, you know, thing we were hoping to hear. You know.
I think more and more people are understanding the translation of tabletop or fiction or whatever to a video game, and that there are changes that are necessary. But you brought up some cool things, you know, as far as scouting and being able to use the light mechs and them having a, you know, a very definitive role, line of sight, and the what are you calling it? The 5-stage initiative system or something like that?
Yeah, turn order.
And I do want to echo. I think you had a tweet today, Mitch. You know that 5-stage initiative system just seems brilliant. You guys did an amazing job with that, and I love how that does give the lighter mechs flexibility and so forth. What other
Just for the
types?
record, that was a retweet. I didn't say it was brilliant.
No.
I'm like,
Yes,
yeah, I love it.
wasn't more clear.
Well, Kevin McGinn is the lead designer of the game. We went through a lot of different systems, and that one was one that he, put forward, and it just trumped them all as we tested a lot of different ones. So I think it was a really great design concept that he came up with, and it's really tough.
So,
That's awesome.
Obviously, well, you guys went to Gen Con. A lot of people, wow, awesome. Do you guys have any favorite moments, like yourselves, that just either someone's reaction or just something something that you saw that just was like, oh wow, that was really cool, or just made your.
I had a personal moment, yeah. I met a legendary mech warrior named Sabercat, and he is like getting close to my dad's age and stuff, and he was there with my wife, and he had his own Sabercat patch and stuff. I have it. Lord Commander's putting it on his uniform and stuff. Really great guy, long time BattleTech player, and he got to play the game, and I got to personally demo it for. And it's like, yep, this is BattleTech. This is. Oh well, thank you.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Great moment.
One of my favorites was a gentleman, a fan, a backer of the game, and his son. And the video, we posted the video on Wednesday night, right? He saw the video Wednesday night, turned to his wife and said, I need to go to Gen Con. And so he actually
lives in St. Louis.
Yeah, lives in St. Louis. Called around till he could find a hotel room, put the son in the car, started driving. Got there on Thursday, and was like, I need to play.
I've said it a million times. BattleTech and Mech Warrior fans are the best, and I'm sure you've shared that feeling as far as Shadowrun and other things as well. But there's something about it's 30 plus years of history. It's you have people that have full body art tattoos of BattleTech on them. Which, Jordan, I've always wanted to get your opinion on that. I mean, at some of these events,
Mitch can't show his. Yeah, that's what you're wondering.
Mitch has got sleeves that are about
so freaking hot.
I mean,
you guess what the mech is.
The whole PPC thing. I'm not even going there.
But you just say it might be a marauder.
No, it's one of those. You just get lucky with a franchise or whatever, and it becomes a part of people's lives. And you know that William Shatner moment on Saturday Night Live where he's at the science fiction convention. He says, "Get a life." I've tried that a few times with Mech Warrior fans and BattleTech. It doesn't work. It doesn't. But it's amazing. It's 30 plus years of lore of fiction, of games, video games, the cartoon, everything. And to again, like I said, it feels a little bit like a revival now. You've got Catalyst reissuing the novels and pushing the tabletop forward. It's just a great time to be a BattleTech and Mech Warrior fan. And I know that the people in our chat tonight are as excited as I am. So you can hear it in my voice. I'm super excited.
Yeah, you're totally fanboying right now. It's all right, bro. It's all right. It's all right. Now, so I have a question for you guys, and this is more in regards to how has technology allowed, or how do you think technology has allowed you to sort of take the next steps to bring BattleTech to light? Because I feel like that's one of the things that like Mech Commander to Mech Commander 2 and Mech Warrior 2 and all those really struggled, right? Because it just wasn't quite there to bring either the visual fidelity or the systems and behind the scenes. Like how is
10 or 15 years later with advancement of technology.
How has that affected you guys?
50 polygons per mech in Mech Commander 2. So what? There's 250 on
the arm.
One arm. Yeah.
Yeah, and for us graybeards, been making video games now for 35 years, we live in science fiction. I mean, just the processing power that's available, and the set of tools that are available to make games now are really the things of fantasy of only a couple decades ago. The reality that we can create, this immersion of the environment, on budgets that aren't, $100 million titles, right? I mean, these are, this is still a small scale development in the realm of video games. And for us to be able to bring, that kind of environment to life at this fidelity level, really amazing to those of us who remember, working with the very first renderers and trying to get anything 3D on a screen. That's.
You remember the Crimson we used to have? What was it? It was we had a computer that was like the size.
Oh yeah. The SGI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was larger than your fridge, in your dorm room, and
a lot
would be capable of rendering the arm now in real time of a mech. I mean, so yeah, this is the digital equivalent of what I remember my grandmother talking about, like as she went from horse-drawn buggies to to jet airplanes, right, in her lifetime. And we've seen that similar level of difference now digitally in my lifetime.
The tools that Mike gets to use, just base level of Unity, that's almost free. Pretty phenomenal.
Oh yeah, there's tons of stuff out there. And one thing that I've been thinking about more and more lately that's a little bit off of the beaten path of this subject, but there's so many amazing collaboration tools now. Apps and Dropbox and have you that we're able to work in such different, and we're taken for granted, but there's just so many more ways for a team to collaborate and share information and iterate on ideas now. I remember there being college, so
there's Pinterest.
Which I mean, all these are just fantastic tools, and true. And the result is we're getting to bring these fantasies to life in ways we never dreamed possible.
On your own, without having to, be at the mercy of somebody else.
Well, with over 40,000 Kickstarter backers.
All right, well, at the mercy of them, but we love our.
Oh no, I mean not on our own. I don't feel at anybody's mercy.
No, I know what you're saying, but you don't have a big publisher or anybody breathing down your neck and making it something that you don't want it to be. You're able to do exactly what you want. And I think it's a great thing for you as a developer and for us as the consumer. The hardcore.
One thing we've learned, we've worked with publishers before and we've been publishers, and so any deal that we ever make with a publisher involves complete creative control anyway.
Absolutely. So now we had version 0.0.7 at MechCon. I do know that you guys are going to be at, I'm sorry, I meant Gen Con. Yes. Now, MechCon, I know you guys are going to be there. Is there any word on what we might see there? Are we going to see 0.0.8, or is that still to be decided?
We're most likely going to see the same build at MechCon. May have some new cinematics or other pieces to show.
The main thing is we have to stay focused on making the game and getting it out on time. Mr. Weissman will admit that's a great idea.
Yes, December. We got a little time, but yeah, I think what one of the things we don't want to do is get into a situation where demo builds are detracting from the schedule. We really want to be very conscious of that.
Discipline.
So.
Well, we're very much looking forward to seeing you at MechCon, and I know you guys are going to do some panels, and you'll have a lot to say and show and so forth. So looking forward to that. Now, as we mentioned earlier, there's an estimated shipping date of somewhere in 2017. Did you not want me to say May, or that's my birthday, so that's fine.
Yeah, I mean the date that was in the Kickstarter campaign got blown away by all the features that were added to the game via the Kickstarter. So at this point, we're just kind of saying
2017,
mid 2017.
Right. There's blown away.
We're not an order of magnitude off of that or anything, but
well, if it does
we'll know more
happen,
as we come into 2017.
If it does happen to land on May 31st, I'll be totally fine with that.
Is that right?
My birthday present. But anyway, yeah, the Kickstarter you're speaking of, it raised just under 2.8 million, which basically means everything was
Called
funded,
it.
including
I called it.
you
Told you.
Yeah, I think we all called it, but
Yep.
everything was funded, including the single player campaign, the expanded mercenary campaign, and PvP multiplayer. But as you were mentioning earlier, if you missed out on the Kickstarter, you can still become, what are you calling it? A late reinforcement.
Late reinforcements, yeah.
Yes. So we love the reinforcements here at MechWarrior. To check that out, people should head on over to battletech.backerkit.com, and we'll put that link in chat. But tell us a little bit about this. If people are wanting to come on board now, I know you can pre-order via BackerKit, like I just mentioned, and some of those are just the basic games. Some of them include beta access, but you have other things on there as well,
Yeah.
right? Like blueprints and supplementals and the 3050 TRO and bagels. So tell us about that page.
Bagels are round. They have a hole in them.
They're the food of
Thank
our
you, Mike.
people.
They're very tasty.
So yeah, one of the things that people it amazes us that as much as we try to communicate, we don't find everybody, and so a lot of people at Gen Con, even though we were at Gen Con last year, were like, oh my god, I didn't know you guys were doing this, and of course the video exposes it to a lot more people, and also I think helps build the case that this is a very different game than previous attempts at this. And that we're actually going to ship something that, as you've said, and we saw at Gen Con, have been waiting many years for. So they said we'd love to get involved. Obviously, it was too late for us to open up the levels that include physical goods because all those physical goods have shipped or are shipping as we speak. Things like the patches and the jackets and the banners and all that kind of stuff is all en route to the backers. But we could open up the 3 digital tiers. So the first tier is at $25 and is the game itself. The second tier is at $35, includes the game and a digital PDF of the art of game.
Soundtrack.
And the soundtrack, right? And then there's the 50.
If I can just put the art is amazing, totally worth every dollar for getting that as well. But yeah, sorry to interrupt.
Oh yeah, and the concept art, I mean, most of which isn't going to be released until that book because we don't want to spoil the characters and environments in the game. But the concept art continues to be at the quality that was shown in the Kickstarter campaign. We are Jen and Daeron and Joel. They're just and Mike himself.
Every now and then.
Yeah, time allows. And then lastly, the $50 tier is all of the above plus access to the beta campaign, the beta, not campaign.
Beta program.
The beta,
access.
the beta program, and I think it also comes with like an atlas and a custom paint scheme.
And the novel by
there's
Stackpole as well.
Yep.
Oh, and the 4 novellas by Mike Stackpole,
Yes.
of which we are getting close to releasing the first one, the first of those.
Good times, man. But then also you can people can purchase the blueprints, those classic poster blueprints, and other PDFs of some cool books. A lot of stuff that takes me back.
Yeah, those are add-ons to whatever tier you wanted to get involved at.
I love the Sword and Dragon cover art. God, there's so much of this stuff that is just. Anyway, good stuff. And 3050 was one of my favorite TROs.
You need a moment.
I do need a moment, but as I'm on cam, I'm not going to take my moment. So anyway, yeah, so everybody still has the chance to get involved, to back the game, to be a part of it. It's an exciting time. I'm seeing a lot of banners showing up behind people, streamers. All of a sudden, there's banners behind them.
Yeah,
that's been very cool.
With the banners too, I think it just sort of goes to show is like the diversity, right, of people and their allegiances, and obviously we see it in MechWarrior Online, and we've seen it in MechWarrior 4 with clans and leagues and stuff, where you literally have people that have said, I'm Davian at heart, I'm Creed at heart, I'm never gonna change, and there's just something like why, and something either they read in a novel or they saw a logo, they saw a mech, and just something intrinsically just pulled them towards that. Obviously it continues with what you guys are doing, but I also think what you guys are doing too is you're taking it a step further, because now you're making them live in a universe that they've only read about, I feel like that's going to be something that's unique as well as, you know, these mech warriors. And as you guys said on your latest Q&A, mech warriors are going to die left and right. So it's going to be interesting having that like tug and pull of, you know, that emotional connection as people make. And for some that do like the Iron Man mode that you guys have talked about too, where you may have a dossier of, you know, a rest in peace countess sort of thing, rest in peace, you know, beast and stuff, where I don't know, it's just something like that. Now the players are going to be able to take that next step in the relationship, if you will, and it's going to be really, really cool. Anyways, that's just me.
It's really amazing how, you know, people get an affinity for their favorite thing. Like, for example, there was a guy who came up to Jordan at Gen Con, and he had a business card from his son. He had named his son Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
After, not the Griffin mech, not the mythological Griffin. I got an email last week after Gen Con, I haven't told you about it yet, from a guy who was going through a really hard time personally, as everybody does occasionally, but he was going through something. And as he was going through a very, very personal and horrible event in his life, his Steiner livery came.
Oh, really?
And he got the Steiner, the keychain, right? It says Indomitable Will. It's like, yeah, that's me. And he actually was able to rise above it. Like, he wrote this long mail. I'll forward it to you. Sorry, I haven't yet. Like, that helped. Just having that on his jacket, Indomitable Will.
That's great.
It's badass.
It is pretty significant that you've, Jordan, created something that does resonate with so many people. Since we've started with MechWarrior Online, I've talked to several people who have literally named their children after, you know, characters from fiction and so forth. And that always floors me. But I understand. And I think, you know, we were talking about people's allegiances and so forth. I talk to people about this all the time. I think it has a lot to do with when they were introduced to BattleTech or MechWarrior. Like, you know, since I started in '84, essentially.
Well, and you were 12, right?
Yeah,
that's
12 and
that's literally exactly the same age as I was introduced.
But see, I was introduced when there weren't clans, so I'm Intersphere all the way. I'm Intersphere for life. And I like all the classic mechs, you know, and or the unseen, etc., because that's what was around my time. But tons of people were introduced at MechWarrior 2. That seems to be an entry point for a lot of people. Yeah. And so therefore their favorite mech, you know, it's the Timberwolf and so forth. And it's just funny. You can almost always, you know, as soon as somebody tells you what their allegiance is or what their favorite mechs are, you can tell where they entered the franchise.
Yeah, I equate it to what's your favorite doctor? You know, it's the one you started watching with, right? I mean, it is your entry point that grabs that emotional connection for you, and whether that's the vehicles or the factions or their leaders, or, you know, another character within a faction, you know, there's something that, you know, that because of where you are in life at that time speaks to you, and that kind of little grip on your heart just doesn't go away.
And I think what's really cool too is because you guys are coming in at the 30-25, you know, sort of time frame, that may expose a lot of people that have never really had an experience in that. You know, a lot of them may have just had clans. Like when I got into MechWarrior 2 back in the day, MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries, Clan Invasion, Clan, you know, this and that. And it's always sort of played on that struggle and that, you know, that event. And now you guys are taking a step back. And I think for me, at least, reading the novels, Daeron, we've talked about this, where I felt like it sort of created a nice foundation of understanding of sort of the setting of BattleTech, right? This gritty, this dark, right? This you know, feudalist, if you will, you know, warfare going on, where you have this on one side, this, you know, technology that we can't even really fathom right now, and then on the other hand you still have this, you know, war torn and poverty and the same sort of struggles that we have, you know. So yeah,
my favorite comparison is Game of Thrones with battle mechs.
Yeah.
But there is just so much, and that's one of my favorite things, is getting somebody new to the franchise interested in it, and then they find out that they've, you know, not even the tip of the iceberg, how much history and how much there is to chew on and get into in the BattleTech universe. But anyway, We have taken up a lot of your time. We appreciate you being here. Is there anything that you guys want to get across to our audience before we let you go today? Any specific points? What's coming up in your rockstar BattleTech lives of developing the next generation game?
Well, that whole Rockstar thing, could you tell my kids about that?
Yeah. what do we do?
Come on, they've got to know.
We'll be at PAX.
Oh, yeah.
Here in Seattle in a couple
Excellent.
weeks.
Yeah, another chance to to get your hands on and play at PAX, and then at MechCon, as we talked about, we're real excited to be there in a big way and participate with Piranha and creating a little love fest for all things mech. And besides that, there'll just be a lot of heads down, making the game.
Yeah. So what's the rest of the year look like for you? It's you'll be attending PAX and MechCon, but it's just a lot of development.
Yeah. Those are the two shows. I kind of signed off the last Kickstarter update saying, we're going to go back to work for a few months, but we're showing up the rest of the combat games, starting to work on the multiplayer, stuff like that, basically expanding outwards from the foundation of our combat. That takes us easily here, and next big sort of public event being the Kickstarter backer beta, which
That sounds awesome. Well, we look forward to all
just one more thing, I
Yes.
guess you mentioned the Lord Commander, but Death from Above is on our sister company Hyper RPG channel.
Yep.
I'm about to push that, so I'll.
There you go. I
I've
forgot
got
I'm dealing with professionals here.
Hey man, that's the best show on Hyper RPG, and I appreciate a lot of stuff that they do. But anyway, I will get to that. For more information on BattleTech and Harebrained Schemes, you can check out BattleTechGame.com for more answers to your questions. Because I know we didn't get to a lot of technical questions, and the reason why we didn't do that is because you guys have been doing great Q&As on Hyper RPG on a regular basis. So if you want more technical questions answered that you didn't get here today, head on over to twitch.tv/hyperrpg. You can check out the past broadcasts, and there's several Q&As on there at least. Really good info, all the technical stuff that I know you guys are wanting to know in chat. Be sure to check that out. But also on HyperRPG, there's a lot of other good content as well, including what Mitch was just bringing up, Death from Above, which to me is, first of all, you've set the bar higher as far
I'm so
as
jealous.
tabletop goes.
Do you guys realize how jealous?
You have
like
the most awesome tabletop setup. You can't even call them minis anymore. The
Maxis.
and Jordan, you've had a hand in painting those and making some of them, right?
Yeah, all the first ones that we destroyed, I painted. I haven't been able to keep up since then.
We destroyed a lot of mechs.
Yes, I
because
noticed.
this actually is from the early days of Tabletop BattleTech when we were out promoting the game. We would do these demo sessions where we would have all sorts of implements of destruction, and as the mechs took damage, that would be applied to the models. And so that's what we do on Death from Above as well. As they take critical hits, they get chewed up and melted and drilled upon and so on.
But it's also a role-playing game too, and that's part of the fun too.
Yeah, I think actually that's the endearing and I think the key to it is it's a really quality storytelling venue that Mitch and Tyler have created, and a whole bunch of really memorable characters and a lot of exciting, and it's it's loosely set in the same area and universe of characters that our campaign will be set in.
Actually, this week on Death from Above, this Friday is Third Succession War Armistice. That's the setting for this time.
So it's.
I think the big question is whether any of those characters will live to see the events of our.
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
We've already seen not everybody lives. So that's 6 p.m. on Fridays, right? 6 p.m. Pacific.
Pacific time, yeah.
So, like I said, and I know I'm biased, but I think it's by far the best show on Hyper RPG. It is really good. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, check out Death from Above, featuring Mitch Gittleman as Lord Commander, and Tyler does an amazing job.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's a freaking genius, and so just a lot of good stuff. Plus, I think what is her name that does the watching paint dry?
Oh, Viking Lass.
Yes. So that's a lot of cool painting the minis. I don't like calling them minis, but amazing.
That works. Yeah,
They're smaller than an actual battle mech. If that
yes,
helps.
they are. Okay. But anyway,
they're to battle mechs what real minis are to humans.
Wow.
There you go.
Whoa.
Interesting comparison. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. Twitch.tv/hyperrpg. And you can also follow them on Twitter at WeBeHarebrained. So be sure to check out, you guys are posting stuff all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, so lots of cool info. And if you are available in the Pacific Northwest, you can see them at PAX and at MechCon in December. So anyway, we want to thank you guys again for being here. It was a pleasure. And we look forward to doing this again in the near future.
Yeah.
So one last thing, you know, we are regular contributors on BattleTechGame.com, our forums, and so there's a really nice community of players on the forums. There's also a Death from Above forum on there, but the development team regularly gets on and answers questions. Right.
I was gonna say, also follow Mitch on Twitter. He posts stuff all the time. So.
Mitch is on Twitter, and
James on Twitter too.
And I'm old, so I'm not on Twitter.
I'm so jealous, Jordan. I'm very jealous of that. But
it's just, it would be nothing but butt pictures. Just over
of all kind of animals. We're not talking just humans.
yeah. Okay. No, he's just got a thing.
Yeah.
I love it. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for taking the time, and appreciate you being here. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and thank you all out there in chat for being here and getting to share the experience. Like I said, if you have more technical questions, because obviously we didn't get to those for reasons, go check out their past broadcasts, the Q&As on Hyper RPG. Phil, you want to take us out?
Yeah, guys, just want to say thank you again to HBS for coming out here. Thank you guys so much. And we'll be able to actually meet you in
a few months.
In a few months, shake your hand.
Hanging out with you at MechCon.
Maybe have a beer.
Looking forward to that.
Maybe have a beer. I don't know. We might. Yeah, you never know.
And George Ledoux, he's in chat.
Yep.
He's going to be there as well.
George
Fisher.
George is going to be there. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone out there for showing up. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Hopefully we'll have that squared away next time. Just want to say again, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to click that follow button and check us out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, make sure to click on those links to head over to their Twitter, Hyper RPG, and follow them. And definitely, like Daeron said, check out that DFA show. You might become addicted. Just saying.
It is too good. It is so much fun.
You know. But anyways, guys, this is your local No Guts, No Galaxy Mech Warrior podcast. Signing off for tonight. My name is Phil.
And this is Daeron.
Until next time, Mech Warriors. Peace. Thanks, guys, again. That was awesome.
Well, thank you guys. That was great. And we apologize for the technical issues on our side as well.
No, you guys are great.
Good work,
It's all good. Good night, guys.
All right. Good night, cheers.
Good night.
Keep in touch.